he turns the papers into the police and tells them everything that he knows. And of course the police completely mess it up.
Fair.
So, Holmes and Watson says, quickly, we must grab a carriage to Marylebone, to the Thatcher estate.
Like
You're partway there.
Should we add a bug there?
You don't have to. They can
Meanwhile, this is Baker Street, right?
No, this is the Marylebone
No,
estate.
Where's Baker Street?
I don't know.
You know, actually,
Baker Street's in the northeast side of Lynn.
so it's nowhere near here.
You can't move that one that far. It's only a hand's width.
Well, I mean,
No,
don't
but
worry about
she was
it.
supposed to be at Baker Street the
Oh, that's
entire
Miss
time.
Hudson. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to do a thing from Miss Hudson.
Okay.
A package arrives, and which is delivered by Mary, who quickly runs off, and it's addressed to home.
Okay, so we'll leave that there because we don't know what's in the package, but you're suggesting that it's going to be very important. Okay. What happens next? By the way, as the game host, you say that a lot.
The rumor that Thatcher died is spreading further, I guess.
Wow, it's like wildfire.
Well, as they stated, he's the only friend of the quarantine, so, I mean, it's big news. And actually, that's another point. If the papers aren't reporting on it, something, people also have news of large spread fishiness.
We all know that the British media has a conservative bias.
Meanwhile, at the
So
news
it
office, Reverend Yankovic, or at least that's what he claims to be, appears from the cutting from the police station with the story. Apparently, he gives it to Jean Marsh, who works the newspaper, despite being a woman in Victorian England. I'm not sure whether they can do that or not.
Yes, they could, because Nellie Bly was a newspaper reporter at this point 20 years before.
So he claims to have. So he claims to have been at Scotland Yard, seen and seen some papers recovered in the briefcase that show that Thatcher was in fact involved with the smugglers.
So, in the carriage, Watson is talking to Holmes, asking, I'm sure you're going to the Marylebone estate to find out more. Holmes says, yes, now that we've concluded our search of the body. And Watson said, yes, it's most unusual. Do you have any theories on how William Thatcher could be killed without being shot in such a way that it looks like being shot? Sherlock raises an eyebrow at him and says, is that the most important thing you took away from the body?
Yeah.
I was rather more interested in the fact that it was not the body of Sir William Thatcher.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God!
Do we take things off the board or not?
And they'll get to
I
Marylebone
think,
Estates.
yes. I think that's probably pretty important. We'll take one of them off from down here. It wasn't William Thatcher. What happens next?
Okay, so, Jock is at Scotland Yard, and the interrogators are asking him the wrong questions and making a mess of things. The acid-burned body, who will henceforth be represented by this dog,
Yep.
Sure, why not?
or something, is taken away by a mysterious figure and disappears.
Oh no! Well, they would have never identified him anyway.
I challenge that.
Wait, that they never would have identified him, and then it gets taken away.
Then it
Then
gets taken away.
Okay.
Actually, you're the one who rolled.
Oh, yeah.
He challenged you.
The
Oh.
body gets taken away. But that doesn't mean it can't come back.
No, of course not.
It just means it's somewhere.
Those
not-
bodies just
not
keep
here.
digging their way to the
What's this
surface
guy's
left
name?
and right.
Will Cromwell.
Will Cromwell, meanwhile, receives a very disturbing letter delivered by Mary, who then once again runs off.
What disappears?
Mary is in a constant state of
Mary is the linchpin.
Assuming there is a Mary.
Oh my God!
or there's a single.
She could be Jackie the Ripper.
Could be Sir Thatcher.
That would be-
yeah, I guess so.
No, don't bother saying challenge.
So Watson can't believe this preposterous assertion. He examined it himself. How could that not be so in Thatcher? Holmes then goes on to list 5 different things that prove conclusively that it could not be the body of a parliamentarian. His hands were rough, his fingernails ragged, his hair had clearly been cut and styled, and yet his clothes were old, dusty, and out of date. There were no ink stains on his hanger, etc., etc. This was clearly the body of someone who had suffered confinement, but who strongly resembled Sir William Thatcher.
I say, you're brilliant, Holmes. This is just to establish one fact that, well, Cromwell goes to do whatever nefarious things he may be doing. Fonda has decided that Cromwell is too suspicious to leave alone and has been secretly tailing.
Cromwell burns letter he received from Mary and Father.
But unbeknownst to him, it doesn't burn completely because England's very wet. And Fonda gets the
Ooh, nice.
The letter,
Only part of it, right?
only part.
the letter contains, the scrap of letter is mostly illegible by the fire, but it contains a small fragment of the letter where in a woman's handwriting it says, "I regret to tell you that your brother has escaped."
Oh, nice. When Jacques realizes that the police are asking all of the wrong questions and is very frustrated, he decides to go and tell Sherlock about the body.
Go to Baker Street first.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Well,
All right.
Hold on. This is a story, so it doesn't have to correspond to reality.
That's true.
Because in reality, yes, you do that. But in a story, of course, he's going to go where he needs
Yes,
to be.
That's
but
true.
the thing is, there is an unsolved mystery at Baker Street, and let's be honest, Miss Hudson isn't going to accomplish.
Where do you want him to go?
He was planning on going to Baker Street, but as he was going there, he saw Watson and Sherlock's carriage go by and
Coming
decided
out
to
of
stop
there you
it.
go, sure. Coming out of the estate,
Out of the estate, and
Out of the estate?
or stepping out of the carriage.
Out of the carriage, exactly. And tells him about the acid-burned body and the papers of Thatcher's that he found in Mary's bag.
Okay, so Watson says, Holmes, could it possibly be that this body, which was deliberately mutilated to be unrecognizable, could have been the real Thatcher? And then, yeah, Watson says that.
Ridiculous, Watson. Watson's theory is always wrong.
The body was that of the killer, most likely.
Very nice.
But Holmes, how could you know that? So,
Patience, Watson, all in good time.
and markings with no fingerprints. Holmes, Watson, the...
First, we must speak to Lady Thatcher here at the Marlborough Estate.
We will just not have that as a
Fine.
Yeah.
So they speak to Lady Thatcher, who is very distressed, having received the news first thing this morning. But Watson comforts her. Jacques waits patiently outside. But after the interview, in which Holmes behaves quite rudely
Shocking.
towards the grieving widow. He notes one particular question as they leave. And Watson's basically asking, well, she didn't seem to have anything of usefulness. Holmes will say, I didn't come here to see the lady of the house, Watson. I came here to see the house itself. Found exactly what I expected.
Brilliant, Holmes.
I'm sure it has some relevance once you explain it.
Okay, so meanwhile, Fonda confronts Cromwell, says, I know you burned that letter, and Cromwell says, what letter? And Fonda shows him the letter. So Cromwell punches Fonda in the face, knocks him out.
Oh, I challenge that. This is Britain, these are gentlemen. He would not knock him out. Would not punch him in the face.
Okay,
He'd shoot him with a non-gun.
But in fact he does. He's not very gentlemanly.
As we approve it, he's not a gentleman.
Fisticuffs.
yeah, he resorts to vile fisticuffs, and Fonda is knocked out.
So that letter disappears, but not Fonda's memory.
And Cromwell disappears as well.
Reappearing next in a home known to Mary, where the two of them have met having an affair over the past several years.
Love it.
He confronts her, and she confronts him. As he says, I received your letter telling me that my brother has escaped. And she says, I know that you must have killed him. He says, you're right, and he kills her.
Wait, no, Chalice. That's just...
Yeah.
The roll. Oh, Mary, you
Off with her
bad
head.
woman. But her body does not disappear, and this is going to be a vital link in solving the case.
Sherlock leads Watson to the apartment where Cromwell has disappeared.
Challenge. No, you have to roll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Amazingly, they show up at just the right apartment and find the dead body. Oh my God!
Who'd have thunk it?
We're too late, Watson. It's just as I feared.
Nice.
And Jacques is probably still with them.
Because Jock is one of the Baker Street irregulars.
There you go.
Yes.
Mary, you'd asked, Watson, you asked about the house. Why I was interested in it. That house had an entire wing with a separate entrance and bars on the windows. This was clearly a house where someone was being kept in against their will. And yet, the ladies of the house showed no particular inclination towards keeping a prisoner. However, I did detect that the signs of entry and entrance seemed to imply that perhaps someone mentally deranged was being kept within. That begs the question, who would be nursing and providing care for such an individual? Alas, I suspect it was this young woman. Known to offer her services, I'd engaged her as a consulting on previous cases.
A consultant. What? A consultant. In the 1890s, people were much more delicate in their phraseology.
Whoever killed her will know what happened to the real Sir William Thatcher.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so Mrs. Hudson opens the package. It's a picture of a man, but it's a man she doesn't know, so it doesn't have any meaning.
Actually,
Wait.
well, hold on. I'm gonna
It's okay.
change it. It's a picture, yes, but it's a picture of a man she doesn't know, a picture of Sir William Thatcher
Yes.
standing in front of this house.
And the two look nearly nearly identical.